Hello again. When I saw the crowds of people in a small town in Ireland who were determined that their town should retain its identity, I at once guessed that they would be protesting against having asylum seekers dumped on them. However, it seems, according to the Irish government, that this is quite mistaken. It was merely intended to establish accommodation for international protection applicants. See now, those silly folk had got hold of the wrong end of the stick. The Irish, like the English, are very keen on euphemisms, and they are currently proving very handy indeed. Only the Irish and British could have described the slow-motion civil war, which lasted for 30 years or so, as the Troubles. In the same way, the Irish are very keen not only to avoid speaking of illegal immigrants, who are currently arriving in the country in droves by their real name, but also to avoid the popular modern euphemism for such people, which is, of course, asylum seekers. This expression is almost as negative now as talking of illegal immigrants. Just mention that you are setting up a camp for asylum seekers and see how quickly the locals start cutting up rough and getting together petitions and bringing their local newspapers and so on. This happens in England and also in Ireland. The Irish, though, have decided to be a little cunning about what they are up to, and so when the government in Dublin announced casually the other day that they were hoping to send a group of international protection applicants to a town in County Wicklow, it took the locals a while before they even realised what was in the wind. The idea was, of course, to dump a load of asylum seekers there, but saying so would have caused fury and outrage, so they hit upon a new term for the illegal immigrants they wished to put up there. Fortunately, the people in the town figured out what was actually going on and reacted accordingly and vigorously. This does rather seem to be the age of not saying what you actually mean, either to avoid upsetting some group or other, or more frequently to disguise what you are doing. I recently came across a marvellous example of this during a select committee meeting, where a civil servant had given a horribly misleading answer to a question and was caught out. He then conceded that his answer had been under-accurate. I love it. In the same way, when somebody's army manages to butcher civilians, it's described as collateral damage. What a wonderful way of describing dead families and destroyed houses. I have an idea that the use of such language is on the rise. Certainly, I find that when reading newspapers lately, I often have to go back over a sentence in order to extract the meaning. The use of expressions designed to conceal meaning is combined with a trend to use long polysyllabic words instead of short and direct ones. Simplistic, for example, replaces simple. Utilising rather than using, and so on. The consequence is that it becomes easier for governments and other agencies to slip things past us before we've had a chance to work out just what it is they are proposing to do. I shall be examining in detail the transcript of a meeting of a select committee a couple of weeks ago on accommodation for asylum seekers in England to show what I mean. It contains an absolute classic in that something which is not working is described as not yet operationalised.